74,000 euros per meter squared. That is the highest price that was paid per meter squared for a property in Paris, and it was paid by none other than the granddaughter of the great artist himself, Pablo Picasso, a 21.5 million, 290 meters squared, top floor, pied-à-terre on the Ile de la Cité, overlooking the River Seine. Absolutely magnificent property. Most amazing of all, not even her primary residence, as she lives and spends the majority of her time in Switzerland. We can but dream. What did the Parisian real estate market do in 2022, and what can we expect coming into 2023? My name is Alexander Martin. I have been a Paris real estate broker for over 10 years now, specializing in advising international clients on their purchases in Paris. And I'm here to share with you a little bit of my thoughts and what I think might happen over the coming months. Get started, as ever, if you enjoy these videos, I'd love it if you could like, share, follow the channel. It's always very much appreciated and allows other people who are interested in the real estate market in Paris to see the content and get the word out. So thank you very much in advance. Right, the last 7 years, the Paris market has risen by a whopping 33%. This is almost straight line growth until June 2020, which was followed by a flattening of the market over the last 2 years to an average price per square meter of 10,660 euros. This is of course across the whole city. After 2 years of COVID chaos, 2022 was, I think, summarized in one word, which was normalization. Now 2022 saw what had previously been a crazy seller's market bring some power back to the buyers. Historically low interest rates, which got down to under 1% in 2021 for a 25-year fixed term mortgage, meant that money was almost free to bid high and fast for properties. But as rates crept back up, we're now about 2.6% for a 25-year mortgage. Budgets were quickly reduced, particularly amongst first-time buyers and upsizers. But once again, the market was price sensitive. This said, top quality properties still sold at lightning speed, sometimes not even reaching the open market, driven by full cash buyers and the return of the foreign clientele armed with a particularly strong dollar. But for everything else, a more healthy balance and a sense of normality has returned. Overpriced properties just don't move, and there is more negotiation discount for what can be considered as the more objective defaults. The one we see time and time again is properties on the first, not ground floor, European first floor, which are usually darker and louder, except of course the pre-house manual construction, anything before about 1850, where the amazing high ceilings mean that there is often a premium. So it's not always that simple. So what does this all mean in terms of numbers? As of Q4 2022, the Paris market has dropped, or should I say stabilized. We're talking at minus 1.2% year on year, according to the French Notary Land Registry, with an average around 70 days on market across all sizes of property. Now, in terms of the best and the worst performing arrondissements, the central right bank prices have dropped, aside from the first arrondissement, which gained 3.3%, the second minus 3.5%, third minus 4%, and minus fourth minus 2.5%, showed a clear trend in the central right bank area. Conversely, the left bank showed, albeit small, gains, again with exceptions though, the fifth losing 2.3%, but propped up by an extremely resistant sixth at plus 2.6% and seventh at plus 1.7%. So we're not talking about crazy numbers here. Other arrondissements of note, the traditionally prestigious 8th and 16th held firm, gaining 3.3 and 2.1% respectively, whilst the trendy 9th arrondissement, which becomes so favourable over the last few years, actually dropped down 2.9%. Now, of course, these swings are not excessive, by global standards. So I would still argue that there's a clear pattern here, which is actually of a refuge to quality. Best performing neighbourhoods are not only the traditionally wealthy neighbourhoods, but also the neighbourhoods with the majority of the high quality stone Haussmannian construction. In these times of political turmoil, rising inflation, the flight to quality assets, to quality stone, to quality real estate seems to here be evident. So, what does 2023 hold? First of all, some good news for the foreign investors looking to mortgage, as we're optimistic of seeing loans to be made available again to non-French taxpayers. More of that in another video though, because it is not that simple. As far as the general market is concerned, we do expect mortgage rates to continue to creep up over the next 6 months. And although these are still incredibly attractive rates, 2.3, 2.6% today compared to just around 4% 10 years ago in 2012, with the markets near an all-time high and average buyers' spending power decreasing, logically we anticipate a softening of prices in 2023. We expect this to be the case particularly in areas dominated by local buyers, reliant on financing, although still, again, looking at these numbers, nothing dramatic. This said, as I've spoken about in previous videos, the Paris market is very much a two-speed market, with the high end always being attractive. And I think this trend is going to continue for 3 main reasons. Number one, as Paris moves to assert itself as the business heart of Europe post-Brexit, and also being an excellent hub for European access and travel, this has seen an influx of foreign corporate jobs, particularly from US banks. Number two, we are in inflationary times. The quality of Parisian real estate as a defensive asset, as an alternative to cash, limited supply, permanent demand makes a great addition to any long-term investment portfolio. Number three, we've said it before and we'll say it again, Paris is Paris, a capital of art, fashion, culture, food, steeped in history. And with the Olympics around the corner in 2024, this has also, bonus point, led to some major infrastructure investment. Will these 3 points be enough to keep the most sought after arrondissements in the black? I suspect that the answer will be yes. So, now for a little bit of practical advice if you are looking to buy or to sell. So, sellers, first of all, 3 points to really bear in mind. Number one, we are no longer in a market where everything sells quickly at crazy numbers. So this means a little bit more effort on your behalf. And a real thing that I advise here is actually to do those little repairs, those little upgrades before putting your property on the market, before selling. And that coat of paint, freshening up that bathroom, as these things are typically, we see it time and time again, they are negotiated down during a sale much more than their real cost. And you're also taking away that wow factor, that first impression that can just reduce the negotiation or demand that extra top price. Number two, make sure that your agent is providing the highest quality marketing and getting high quality content across all platforms. This is super important these days where there are less buyers, buyers are more picky. The days of logging on to 1 or 2 websites are over. We're in an age of social media, of digital marketing, of creativity, and you want your property to stand out against the competition. Number three, said it before, we'll say it again, price correctly. We're not in a rising market where you can be pushed along by momentum. Buyers are sensitive to price, but also keen to act decisively before rates rise. So what this means is the first couple of weeks on it in a sale are really, really important to generate that competition, that momentum again, that desire when a new listing hits the market. After that, the property starts to lose its exclusivity and buyers start to ask questions. So if you get it right, right from the get-go, you've got a higher chance of generating that competition, going for a quick, efficient sale. So to sum that up, I think I would say that even though the buyer pool is thinner and more careful, those who are out there are keen to act, they are keen to buy. Get these 3 points right and your sale will be in great shape. For buyers, I personally love this market and I'm particularly enjoying advising on Parisian property purchases at the moment. Why? Several reasons. Sellers who are in the market today are genuinely motivated to sell. They are not just after an opportunistic high price, as we may have seen a few years ago. And if they haven't, for example, followed my seller's advice, the sale is likely to be taking a little bit longer than they had hoped for. This means that there is an opportunity to offer sellers security, sometimes at a lower price. For many sellers, faced with the possibility of a worsening economic situation, rising interest rates, inflation, lower budgets, accepting a lower offer now is actually a good decision and a good outcome. So don't be afraid to put in offers that are below asking price, and then to stand firm. Time is your friend, particularly properties that have been sitting on the market a little bit. Perhaps the seller hasn't been following our previous advice, and then to stand firm. This said, in order for this strategy to be the most effective, you want to be the most prepared possible. You want your dossier, you want your file to be attractive to a seller, to offer that security. And so what does this mean? This means preparing thoroughly with your banker, your mortgage broker, your buying agent, however you're going about things. You want to be presenting your offer, your profile, which may lack the number that they wanted, but will offer them the security that they're after to get on with their projects and to get on with their lives. If you're a cash buyer, you have even more negotiating power, or at least to be ahead of a similar number who is needing financing. But do remember, again, two-speed market, a property that is well priced, well located, good intrinsic qualities. If you expect to negotiate, you may miss out. As a real estate advisor, with the majority of our work helping clients buy property in Paris, I think it's going to be an interesting year. Again, I think we're going to be looking at a softening in prices in some areas, but the most sought after areas remain strong, even grow a little bit with this flight to quality. So I think it's going to be an exciting year, and I'm looking forward to being able to help lots more people realize that Parisian dream in 2023. So if you've got this far, thank you for watching. I hope you've found this video useful, interesting, and given you perhaps some food for thought. Numbers aside, these are of course my personal market predictions. I'd love to hear yours below in the comments, please. If you agree, disagree, have more questions, feel free to drop something in there. And of course, as ever, please do like, share the video, other people who could be interested in the Parisian market, and subscribe to have more updates, property tours, advice on the Parisian market, Parisian real estate. Thank you for watching. Merci beaucoup. À bientôt. Au revoir.